Good morning. Globally, markets and policymakers are still grappling with the economic aftershocks of the Middle East conflict, with oil now the key transmission channel into inflation and growth. The Financial Times reports global oil reserves are plunging at a record pace, with stocks near an 8-year low heading into the northern summer travel season. That tight buffer is amplifying price sensitivity to any disruption, even as demand has softened. In Washington, the U.S. says Iran has not broken the ceasefire despite clashes around the strait, describing recent strikes as below the threshold that would restart full combat. But the risk premium remains elevated, and that is feeding directly into global inflation expectations. On the conflict front, Ukraine and Russia exchanged drone strikes ahead of rival ceasefire proposals tied to Russia's Victory Day period. The BBC reports Russian attacks killed at least 20 as Kiev and Moscow floated competing truce timelines, underscoring how fragile any pause may be. Elsewhere in Europe, Romania's prime minister has been ousted in a no-confidence vote, adding political uncertainty at a time when governments are already under pressure from cost of living and security concerns. In artificial intelligence and the technological revolution, Al Jazeera reports Microsoft, Google and XAI have agreed to provide the U.S. government access to AI models for security testing, following Pentagon moves to expand AI use in classified systems. The development signals a deeper integration of frontier AI into national security workflows and raises the stakes for governance, model evaluation, and the balance between innovation and oversight. Turning to Australia, the Reserve Bank has lifted interest rates for the third time this year, a decision SBS covered live and the conversation framed as a move with no easy options as the bank forecasts higher inflation and slower growth. ABC adds a sharper warning. The RBA says Australia had an inflation problem even before the Iran war, but the conflict has made it more sinister by turning the country into a hostage to oil prices, with the governor warning that we are all feeling poorer. The immediate implication is that energy-driven inflation could keep policy tighter for longer, even as household budgets are already stretched. That stress is showing up in new hardship data. ABC reports almost 14,000 Australians rang the National Debt Helpline last month, with most saying they are struggling to pay their home loans and facing mortgage stress. Separately, ABC reports more than 8 million Australians now receive income support, up by 2 million over the past decade, with deteriorating mental and physical health a key driver of people being unable to work. Together, those figures point to a labor market and social safety net under sustained pressure, even before higher rates fully flow through. On Australian government policy and the public service, the Conversation reports the upcoming federal budget will provide for a new national counter-terrorism center focused on detecting and disrupting online violent extremism and terrorism. The policy direction reflects the shift of threat activity into digital spaces and will likely bring new operational demands across agencies and new scrutiny of platform accountability and online harms. In politics, The Guardian reports the NSW regional by-election in Farah is shaping as a significant test, with a seat historically held by the coalition, but this time tipped as a contest between an independent and a one-nation candidate, potentially delivering one nation's first lower house win. The result will be watched closely for what it signals about regional voting patterns and major party vulnerability. Finally, on Australia's external economic and strategic settings, SBS reports Australia and Japan have struck a broad package of agreements spanning minerals, energy and defense, reinforcing supply chain and security cooperation at a time when critical minerals and energy resilience are central to both economic policy and strategic planning.